Welcome to Low-Tech Math with Mrs. Combs. We're going to talk about division today, and I'm going to start at the very beginning with a very simple problem and then get a little bit more difficult. Everything we do today, every problem we do on the board will come out evenly. It will not have any remainder. So let's see. I want to start with a really simple division problem. 3 into 633. This is a fairly easy one. It's a short division problem, but we're going to do it the long division way. How many times does 3 go into 6? Well, 2. I've divided. Now I'm going to multiply. 2 times 3 is 6 and subtract and get 0, then bring down the 3. And every time I bring a number down, I have to write a number up. If I bring it down, I have to write a number on top. So does 3 go into 3? Yes, 1 time, and 1 times 3 is 3. And I subtract, multiply, subtract, and I get 0, and then I bring down the next 3. And does 3 go into 3? Yes, 1 time. And 1 times 3 is 3. And there we have no remainder. Well, if I want to know if this is the right answer, I can multiply 3 times 211. So I'm going to put the 211 up here. And I'm going to multiply by 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. And 3 times 2 is 6. And both of these numbers are the same. That means we got the right answer. So that's the way to check. So you divide, multiply, subtract. Divide, multiply, subtract. Divide, multiply, subtract. Okay? Now that was an easy one. This one will be just a little smidge more difficult. 8 divided into 208. So 8 into 208. Now this could be written as 208 divided by 8. These are the same problem. Notice that the first number is the one that goes in the box. That's always true. The first number always goes in the box. Now I divide first. Does 8 go into 2? It goes in 0 times. If I use a number, I have to write a number up. And 0 times 8 is 0, and I subtract, multiply, subtract. That's a very crummy 2 there. 2, bring down the 0. Now, does 8 go into 20? It does. It doesn't go in there evenly, but we don't care. 2 times 8 is 16. It helps if you know your multiplication facts. And if you don't know them, if you don't remember them, you need to go back and practice. You have to borrow. And 10 minus 6 is 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. I still have one more number. And if I bring a number down, I have to put a number up. So does 8 go into 48? Remember those times tables? Goes in there 6 times. And 6 times 8 is 48, and that's a 0. Okay? Now, what do I do to check? Well, I take 26, because this 0 doesn't change it. It's simply 26. And I multiply by 8. 8 times 6 is 48. Carry the 4. 2 times 8 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And there we have it. We got the answer right. That's a good job. That's the result we want every time, the right answer. Okay, now I'm going to try 108 divided by 4. Remember, the first number is the one that goes in the box. And the second number is the divisor, which goes on the outside. This is the dividend inside the box. This is the divisor outside the box. The answer is called quotient. So does 4 go into 1? No, it doesn't. 0 times 4 is 0. Subtract, get the 1, bring down a 0. Okay? Does 4 go into 10? Goes in there twice because we know our multiplication facts. 2 times 4 is 8. And subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. Bring down the 8. Does 4 go into 28? Yes, 7 times. That's 28. And we subtract and get 0. Now, I'm going to check and see if I've gotten it right. 27 times 4. 4 times 7 is 28. Carry the 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 9, 10. Yep, they match. Moving on, getting something a little bit more difficult. Not much, but a little. 744 divided by 6. 744 divided by 6. Remember, this one goes in the box. This one goes outside. Dividend in the box. Divisor outside the box. Does 6 go into 7? Well, this time it does. 6 does go into 7. Goes in there 1 time. So I divide 1. 1 times 6 is 6. Subtract. Remainder 1. Bring this down. Does 6 go into 14? Yes, 2 times. 2 times 6 is 12. Subtract. Bring down. Does 6 go into 24? You know, it goes in there 4 times, and we know our times table, so 4 times 6 is 24. Subtract nothing. And if I multiply 6 times 124, what will the answer be? It's going to be 744. Okay. All right, here's another one that's a little bit different. This one's got a little bit of a monkey wrench in the works. 7 into 1442. So first we divide. Does 7 go into 1? No. Now that first 0 doesn't change anything, but it keeps a place. It marks, it's a placeholder. Does 7 go into, well, I'll multiply. Multiply, subtract, bring down. Now I've got 7 into 14. Does 7 go into 14? Yes. 2 times. And 2 times 7 is 14, and subtract. Bring down the 4. Now here we come to a conundrum. Does 7 go into 4? 0 times. So if I bring down a number, I have to put a number up, and I'm going to put a 0. Remember, this 0 is a placeholder. It's holding that spot. Then I bring down the 2. Does 7 go into 42? Yes. Good thing I know my multiplication facts. 7 times 6 is 42, and I subtract. No remainder. Now I'm going to take 206 and multiply by 7. 7 times 6 is 42, carry the 4. 7 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4, and 7 times 2 is 14, and they're equal. So that's the correct answer. Suppose we had not written this in. Now we have 26. And if I take 26 and multiply by 7. 7 times 6 is 42, carry the 4. 7 times 2 is 14, and 4 is 18. That's 182, and those are not the same. So this 26 is wrong. That's why you must put in that 0. If you bring the 4 down, you have to put a number on top. Otherwise, you'll end up with the wrong answer. And we don't want that. We want right answers all the time. Okay. Now we have a 2-digit number. 21 into 882. So I'm not dividing by 2. I'm dividing by 21. Because 2 does go into 8. It goes in there 4 times. But 21 does not go into 8. 21 goes in there 0 times. 0 times 21 is 0. And bring down the 8. Now I have to write a number over this 8 because I've brought it down. I put the 0 over this 8. Now I have to put a number over here. And since 2 goes into 8, that's going to be my starting point. I'm going to try that. I'm going to multiply this by 4. And I always just use this little out here as my scratch paper. And when I get done, if it's not right, I erase it and try something different. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Well, that looks like a pretty good number, 84. So I'm going to put up a 4. And subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. And 8 minus 8 is 0. Bring down the 2. Does 21 go into 42? Yes, 2 goes into 4 2 times, so I'm going to try the 2. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, and there we have it. Okay, so every time you bring a number down, you have to put a number up. And remember, you're not divided by 2, you're divided by 21. We can divide by 2 just to give us an idea of what might be the right answer. Okay, so we have 1,961, 1961. That was a very good year for me. And we're going to divide that by 37. So we have 37 on the outside and 1961, 1,961 on the inside. Now it doesn't go into 1. I'm going to put a 0 there. I'm not going to bother with the subtraction. I know it's going to be 1 when I bring it down. Does 37 go into 19? Nope, but when I bring the number down, I have to use that number, another 0. Now we're looking at 196. We're looking at 3 digits. Now I'm going to show you that that's right, because 0 times 37 is 0. I subtract and bring down the 9. If I bring it down, I have to put a number up. That's 0. And I bring down the 19 and the 6. So I'm now dealing with 196. You can write this out if that helps you do the problem correctly. Now, 3 goes into 19 6 times. So I'm going to try 6, because 3 times 6 is 18. And let's see what happens. But this number is really closer to 40. So let's see if it works. 6 times 7 is 42, carry the 4. And 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 22, 122. Look, 222 is larger than this, so that won't work. This number has to be smaller than this. So I think I'll try 5. 1 number down. I'm just going to go 1 number down because the 6 didn't work. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry a 3. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's 185. That looks like a good try. Okay? And I'll subtract. 1, 1. Oh, I got 11, and I bring down a 1. But I brought down that 6. I have to put a number up, and I used 5 was the correct number. I can't forget to put that up, or I won't get the right answer on top. Now, 3 goes into 11 3 times. I also know that 3 times 7 is 21, so this looks promising. I'm going to try 3. 3 times 7 is 21. Carry the 2. 3 times 3 is 9, 10, 11. There it is. So what number goes up here? 3. My 3 goes up there. I brought a number down. I have to put a number up. You have to keep track of that. As you can see, sometimes I forgot to put the number up. I'd multiplied over here, but I forgot to write it. You have to be careful that every time you bring a number down, you put a number on top. So 37 times 53 is indeed 1,961. Now, I'm going to erase this and look at it a different way and see what happens. Okay, so I have 37 into 1,961. I'm going to go ahead and write these 2 zeros up. We went through that process the last time. This time I'm going to look at this and say, you know, that's closer to 40 than 30. So I'm going to divide by 4. 4 goes into 19 4 times. So I'm going to try 4. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 3 is 12, 13, 14. 14. I'm not going to write the 4 up yet. I'm going to see if it works. 14. I forgot to write the answer. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 3 is 12, 13, 14. So it's 148. And I'm going to subtract. That's smaller than 196. It's not too big. So I borrow. 16 minus 8 is 8. 8 minus 4 is 4. Oh no, a bell needs to go off. This right here is smaller, is large. This, our divisor is smaller than this number. This number is larger than the divisor. That's a stop sign. If we see that, we must stop. That won't work. If I get an answer to my subtraction problem that's bigger than the number I'm dividing by, I go back and say, well, that 4 was too small. I need to make it a little bit bigger. So I'll try 5. 5 times 7 is 35. 3 times 5 is 15. 16, 17, 18. Oh, good, 185. And then we're back on track. So if you subtract to get a number larger than the number you're dividing by, that means that this 4 up here was not right. And we have to make it larger. And the 5 is the correct one. So if you subtract, if you multiply then subtract to get a number larger than your divisor, go back and try a different number because that's not the right one. That won't work. Shall we do that one again and see what would happen if we continued that way? Zero, zero. Okay, we got 4 here, and when we multiplied by 4, we got is that right? No, that's not a 3, that's a 2. It's 148. And we wrote that down. and I can't write it down, I've messed up, 148, and we subtract, and we get 48. And we say, oh, look, wait a minute. 37 goes into 48 one time, so I'm going to put a 1 up here. And 37, and then I subtract, and I get the 11, and I bring down the 1, and I multiply by 3, and I get 111. But look, I've got 413. And the answer is really 4 plus 1, 53. So you see, when we get this number and it's too big, we're not going to get the right answer if we continue. If the subtraction answer, the difference, is bigger than the divisor, you have to erase it and try a different number for the quotient. It wasn't the right number for the top. Now, that's basic subtraction. You've been exposed to all of this already before, but this is a review, so you know how to actually go through the steps. Divide, multiply, subtract. Bring a number down. Divide, multiply, subtract. Bring a number down. Divide, multiply, subtract. You follow it step by step. Do every step the same way. And remember, if you bring a number down, you write a number up. A number comes down, a number goes up. Okay, thank you.